for Argentina. A big sigh of relief, of course, after that victory against Mexico, at least in second in Group C. Lionel Messi scored in that game, by the way, yes.
Unbelievable.
I thought you were booing him.
No.
Oh, it was ooh.
What a surprise, you know, Messi scoring a goal.
Okay.
Oh, I never seen that in my life.
And that goal seems to have put him on the radar of Inter Miami, Jules.
Jules would have done ooh.
This is a story, of course, that broke yesterday. What is the latest on this possible move that would come, of course, at the end of his season at PSG?
Well, it was reported in England that he was very close to agreeing a move to Inter Miami for next season. What we're being told by Messi's people and even at PSG is that none of that is true for now. He might end up at Inter Miami, and I hope for Inter Miami fans that it happens. But right now, he hasn't agreed to go anywhere. We know there's three options, and we discussed it before on the show. One is to stay in Paris. He's got a third year in option in his contract that he can trigger with the club. But I think the club right now are they're ready to offer him an extra 2-year deal and everything that he wants pretty much. Or he can go back to Barcelona, which I think he also probably thinks is not the best of ideas. Or go indeed to Inter Miami and to MLS, which is something that he said before he wants to do one day. We know he obviously has a house in Miami. They have family holidays there quite regularly. You could see the attraction to Miami and to MLS in general. But I think right now it feels like, one, there's no rush to take a decision because he's focused on the World Cup. And after that, it will still be 6 months before he has to make a decision. And two, if he feels that he can still play in Europe, he can still play with PSG, and PSG have a very competitive team to win him another Champions League, I think why not staying at least another year in Paris and see what happens. MLS and Inter Miami will always be there in a year, in 2 years. So maybe you could think that there's no point going this summer.
His agents come out and said this is fake news. There are no negotiations, Jules. So you kind of look at this and the origin of it. It must come from like a Beckham or Neville if it's come from England.
Yeah, I mean, I'm debating to know if Lionel Messi knows who the manager is at Inter Miami, because just that should put him off, really. More seriously, we know, for example, that Jorge Mas, it had to be said. Well, Jorge Mas, for example, is very close to the Messi family. I think he had to be said. Jorge Mas is very close to the Messi clan, to the Messi family. So there's a lot of ties there already. And as we said, he's got history with Miami, even as a holiday destination anyway. So he might well end up there because Busquets, I think, might go there, and maybe Luis Suarez and maybe other of his friends. I think this is the plan from an Inter Miami point of view. However, it would be crazy, I think, for Messi right now to agree anything, to agree to stay in Paris, to agree to go back to Barcelona, to agree to go to Miami, because there's just no need for him to make a decision right now. Right now, he's focused on the World Cup, and he's got a lot of work to do in Doha, and that can come later. There's no rush.
Jules, I'm worried that you living with Mark Ogden's making you a bit negative, Jules. Come on, keep that optimism up. We'll say thank you very much to Julien Laurent.
No chance.
Ali, MLS, makes sense?
From MLS perspective, yeah. Sign him up. Pick him up.
Yep, of course. Get Mbappe, Haaland, the whole shebang.
Sure. Everybody, come on over. I think Jules just mentioned there that MLS will be available to Lionel Messi whenever he wants it. If he wants it, MLS will be there. So for Lionel Messi, he's holding all the cards. It's up to him, really. And he has reached the point in his career in which he's probably going to do what suits him best, what's best for his family, what he's going to enjoy doing. And if that means going to Inter Miami, then so be it. But from MLS's perspective, you wait for him now, 2 years from now, 20 years from now, it doesn't matter. Whenever Lionel Messi comes, you put the red carpet out because you want his brand as part of Major League Soccer.
It doesn't make any sense for me because it's not the right time to talk about it. It's why it's fake, because I can't believe that a player like that, with all the people working around him, is going to launch something like that and say that I'm going to sign for Inter Miami. Never. I'm sure he didn't have any discussion about it because he knows exactly that when he starts a discussion, people are going to talk about it. So I'm pretty sure that him and all the people working around him will say, well, you know what? At least we finished the World Cup, and I guess at least we finished almost the end of the season, and maybe you can start talking, in April when the MLS starts, but not before, for sure.
Doesn't make an awful lot of sense to me. Makes as Ali says, if you're into Miami or anybody in MLS, you push to make this happen. But it's a different discussion around Lionel Messi than around Cristiano Ronaldo, per se, who quite clearly has come to the end of his superpowers, shall we call it. Lionel Messi showing no real signs of slowing down right now. Any club in Europe would happily have him. He can almost dictate the price as far as that goes. And as Ali says, when Lionel Messi is good and ready, when he decides that the time has come for him for the drop the curtain on his European career, MLS will have him, and happily. And the league will move heaven and earth to make that happen whenever it happens.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.